Okay, still cooling off. Still, when you hold on to it, it's hot. I can go like that without hurting me. When you hold on to it, it burns. So she's still pretty warm. Alright, we're going to go ahead and work on some other stuff here though. Okay, so when we left off on this, we had some issues, I think. We had a clearance problem with our cam lobe to our gear here, I think was pretty close. So I'll put this around to where the timing mark goes, which is right up there. And it's right over here. That big lines up with this mark here on this one. Wherever it went to, there it is, right there. Marks line up, see? That is very important to have that lined up. And then this cam has a washer right there, which is going to fall off. Let's put some oil on it. Okay. A little dab of oil does wonders for holding stuff. Okay, this has little dots here to line up the stuff you get it to line up instead of lines. So that dot goes to there, like so. Okay, so obviously this gear can come up the height of that gear. That's how far down it is, so it can come up a little bit if it wants to, but for now it's fine. It's not hitting on anything, so it doesn't matter if it's in a little deeper. It'll come out when it wants to. Okay, the problem we have is when you rotate the motor around. Let's see, figure out what we're at here. That lobe right there gets really close to hitting those teeth right there. And I don't remember how close it was. That was a different video. But it's very, very close. And you can't check it like this. You actually have to put the cover on it, so you got to hold the cam exactly where these bushes are going to put it. Otherwise it doesn't matter. Okay, we're also going to put this in there. Okay, we have a snap ring right here that goes on the end of that shaft. And that free play is dictated by how much of a shim wash you put underneath this. We got to figure that out too. And then this other gear goes on there also. Okay, so you have a bunch of little things you're going to be checking on here all at once. Okay, so first thing I want to do is find out if we put this clip on there, how much end plate are we going to have? Feels like a little bit. So we could probably put a little bit of something on there, maybe a 5. I think we checked that before and it didn't work very well. Okay, I'm looking for another clip. Originally I was going to try to reuse his old clips because we're cheap. So that is the clip. Okay, this one looks pretty flat. This one here has a little bit of a bend to it. So we're going to try to use the flat one. This looks like it's been bent a little bit, so I'm going to squeeze it up a little bit to make it new again, because I'm cheap. I think we'll throw a 5/1000 shim behind that just for the hell of it. So I think we tried all this before and it didn't work, but I don't remember. Okay, Chevrolet rocker box shims, also Sportster. This is a 5/1000 shim, that's our narrowest one. We're going to temp fade just like we did on the oil pump. Let's get as tight as we can and still have it work. Okay, that is one shim. Now on these, you got to pick where you want to put that shim at. I'm going to put it right there. Take my pliers and do a little bendy here. I've already brought it down a little bit. When you bend it a clip, you bend it 3 ways. You're bending it this end down here to make it shorter this way. Then you got to bend the whole thing down to make it right here. You got to bend it to make it smaller this direction. Otherwise, it's oval shaped. So you got to do multiple bends. Okay, see, now we're closer together. And these are a pain in the ass to get off, so once it's on there, it's on there. So let's go ahead and lubricate this, so if I don't have to take it off again, I won't. If I do have to take it off again, I gotta pull the clip off anyway and probably wind up destroying it, so oh well. There's already a shim in there. Looks like I already shimmed it. There it is. Yep, it's already a shim in there. I thought I already did this. Shim right there. Goes all the way on the inside. Okay, let's see how thick of a shim we put in there. $25,000 shim. Big one. We probably tried this, it didn't work. You know what? I'll try it again. I'll put the thinnest one all the way to the inside so I don't have to worry about it. Line up our mark again. Where did our mark go? There's our mark. Mark. We have no clearance when we put that shim in there. That's why I didn't put 5 in there. It didn't fit. So we take our clip, put it right here. And you can see the clip's not even flat because it's 0. Let's put a little clearance. So it will not fit. Alright, so we already did this. It don't take it. Well, that's how you know for sure it doesn't take it. You do the same thing again as you did the first time. Because we did it so long ago, I don't remember exactly. Alright, so we're not using that again. Alright, 25th shim, which is really a big shim too. That's a big ass shim. Yeah, that's on the inside. Okay, I'm gonna leave that off for now. I think I'm going to be back in here again, so we're not going to do that all the way. Okay, that's back in there. This guy goes in here. You make sure the teeth are flush. If one's higher than the other, you're to flip it over. Put that one there also. We're not using this shim out at all. Okay. Get that out of our way. Okay, there should be a breather. There's our breather. It's the other mark you got to line up. Okay, let's take our gasket. So I'm pretty sure I did all this already, but I remember it was close. So better to check it now than have to do it again later. Okay, all our parts are in there except for our clips. So sometimes those clips do cause problems. Nice good fitting cover, like it's supposed to. Nice and plug fit without forcing. Put a few of these screws in here, but not all of them. We'll put one more down there. Yeah, it shouldn't matter there. Put one there, put one there. Yeah, we'll do that way. Things are getting tight for some reason. Yeah, I don't like that. Things got real tight. The screws are kind of feeling funny going down, so the cover might just be uneven, so let's go ahead and put the screws in there, but we're not going to force it all the way down. Something is not happy in there. We basically locked up our crank, so okay. So something is not happy. So we got to determine what is not happy. Okay, so I rotate the crank around until the breather's where I can get to it. See the breather screen down in there. Okay, when you get in there, you can take a screwdriver like this, go in there in the breather, against the screen holes there. And if it moves back and forth like it is right now, that's not tight. Next thing is this gear here. It's not moving. That's probably the tight spot. And then this one over here, oh, that's definitely loose because it moves, see? And then the other thing is the cam. So it looks like the gears are hitting against each other possibly. So I don't see any clearance between them, so let's grab a shim here. Yeah, actually I got a 1.5 thou shim right here. Okay, it goes down in there on most of it. It's kind of tight over there though. I'm not sure what else is over there. Might be hitting against, I'll probably hitting against the end of the gear, pinion gear in there. Okay, so it appears that we have clearance there, at least that much. I doubt if I got 10 though. Just a 10 thou shim. Nope, I do have 10. Okay, it didn't look like I had that. Okay, so we are not hitting on that. Okay, so that's good. So now it just comes down to an in-play issue. I'm guessing that that 25 shim in there is way too thick, and we locked up everything. Okay, now we can still go ahead and check our other problem here, which is that lobe right there where it comes around, like right there. If I can turn the motor over some more. There it goes. Right there. That's where the lobe goes bang, bang, bang. Let's see, we got 10 thou shim. I like to have at least 10 thou on these things. Okay, so the shim is in there. See, it's in there. I'll rotate the crank with it in there. You got to find the tightest spot. It does not have 10 thou in there. At least it's bound up on something else. What am I hitting on? I might have been hitting on something else. Hear that bang mark? Right there where you're hitting. I'm going to do this with 2 hands, but we're basically like 11 thou. But it might go down to 9 there in the one spot. I might be hitting on a gear below, tooth below it's making a dig in, so I'm not sure. So I'm just going to go slowly and feel if I got a tight spot in there someplace. That's loose. Yeah, it bangs on a tooth below it. Okay, there's our tight spot right there. We're right at 10 thou. So that's the tightest spot right there. Yeah, right there is our tight spot. So we have just enough. Very, very close. It's at one tooth. It's only one tooth that's right that close. So what you do is you take that tooth and just file it down or grind it down a few thou, and you get clearance. You have to figure out which one it is though. But with 10 thou clearance, we have enough. It's close, but it's close enough. It's got clearance. Okay, but we do have to get rid of the binding problem, which is probably the shim washer is too big. So you know, I need to go in there and get rid of that shim. So that was a 25, so we have to knock that down to probably 20. And see if that gives me what we need. That's the circuit breaker, good, it has the worm on it, goes back and forth, so whatever goes back and forth, it changes ignition timing, so you want to keep that as tight as you can, but not be 0. So running down to 3 thou is fine. Just don't get less than 3. So right now we're hitting, so we really probably need to be about 18 thou on that shim. So I have a 10 thou and a 7 thou, I can make 17, that would be 8 thou less than I have now. Or I can try 2 10s, come up with 20 and be 5 thou less than I got. Now the cam cover wasn't tightened all the way down. It's close, but not all the way down, so it might take a 20. Okay, so the easy way to get this thing out of here. Notice how the motor got freer. Rotate the cam lobe until you're around right to here. You can put this screwdriver in here like that and just rotate it out like this in here, and it will slide your cam cover off a little bit, or you jam it, pull on it, and hit it lightly with a hammer, or pop it off too. Depending on what you need. I'm going to try just that. That is not enough. I'll get all my screws out. Should be sliding off easier than it is. This doesn't quite have the same area to push on like a later motor does. Try a different screwdriver. Should be coming off, it doesn't want to. Lightly tap it. She still ain't coming. Why is it not coming? You don't want to come. Okay, and you go the old-fashioned way. You take the hammer, stick it inside the cover. You give it a light rap with another hammer. Pops the cover. Cover now has a gap on that. Then you see if you can leverage it out. I also have an old wood handle, hammer handles floating around somewhere. I use the same purpose. Be careful on prying. There's only two dowel pins, one here and one here. That's where your drag is at. I don't like putting a screwdriver in there too much because the gasket and the gasket surface gets damaged. Stick it in there and be very careful with it. It should just slide right out without too much effort. Once you get back in there enough to pull out, you pop it. Okay. So I get to pull this out. Pull out that 25 shim we got in there. Go find something thinner. I don't have any 10,000 shims, so next one down is a 15. We go from 25 to a 15, or you got 2 7s, which makes 14. So I'd rather have a 15 than 2 thin ones. I don't think they make these shims anymore. Kind of an obsolete thing. I still have them though. But don't try buying mine. I don't want to lose my motor parts, or I can't rebuild my motors. Some people get greedy when they buy the bag of them from me. I don't like that when I do that. There's a staple in there. No wonder it won't come out. Staple's gone. Oh, the bag opens up now. Look at that. Okay, there's a 15. Measured 16 and a half. Close enough. Okay, put this back where the tongue mark goes. Right back down where it belongs. Put our can back in there also. Let's see, where's our mark at? Mark's over there. Debris doesn't really matter, but yeah, I like doing it all the same. It's always nice to have the same teeth and gauge every time, so if there's any issues, it pops up on the mock-up. So, mark, 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 no mark. Okay, gasket's on. The other thing is those cam cover gaskets come in different thicknesses, so you got to make sure you use the same gaskets each time. Otherwise you can get yourself in big trouble real quick. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see, I'm going to put an extra screw in here because I'm having problems. Okay, that went right down hard. It wasn't a soft go in like the other one was. You could feel it kind of mushy squeezing when you went in before. This one goes right down hard. So we are definitely not hitting on that anymore. This side went down a little bit. Crank does rotate. Always make sure the crank rotates while you're doing this. You don't have it all full tight and find out the crank doesn't move. And this one here just pulls down the cover even on the other side, so it won't be pushed up on this corner. Shouldn't affect it, but you never know. Okay, these are tight but not full tight. We're still moving. A little more drag than I had without all the parts in there, but it does seem to rotate halfway decent. Okay, the gear's not bound up like it was before now. So now there's backlash in the tooth. That means it's moving, so it's not tight. Now, can I feel any in-play with it? No. Can't feel any in-play. Okay, the cam. I don't feel any cam and movement either. It looks like there's a gap between the cam and the washer. Yeah, the washer moves. I know it's not tight on there. It is. I thought we had in-play on that before. But the cam doesn't want to move. See, the cam's not moving, but the circuit breaker is. That's the noise. I should be able to move the cam. And it's not moving, so it's bound up. And I didn't change any of those parts, so that's why I got a little drag in the crank feeling it. Yeah, I can't, there's no backlash in those teeth at all. So that means the pinion gear and the big gear might be too tight with each other. Could be very easily. You know it's not that gear there. Okay, I'm going in and out with a circuit breaker. You can hear it. You can barely feel it, but you can hear it. So it's only got a couple thou clearance. So that's, for now, that's usable. But the problem is the cam gear is tight. On later bike, those pinion gears are changeable for different diameters. Usually when you got used gears, they're not tight. But this has a new cam, it must have an oversized gear on it. Okay, we're not moving that. Let's go around with a different spot. Okay, I'm moving the cam back and forth. Try different places. Can't move it there. Can't move it there. Can't move it there either. Can barely move it there. Yeah, it's tight down there. Yep. Loose over here. Yeah, semi-loose. Wouldn't exactly call that loose. Get a real tight spot right there. It's definitely tight. Alright, we'll be back.